Introducing boxing's pride of Phoenix, the undefeated El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez.
The greatest Mexican knockout artist in boxing today is not named Canelo Alvarez. In fact, there are many fans who believe that Canelo has damaged his legacy by not fighting the unbeaten David Benavidez. He might just be the most avoided fighter in the sport today at any weight class. On top of that, he's one of the most effective finishers in the game. This is a violence merchant of the highest order, folks. David Benavidez deserves your full attention. Remember, if you want to support the channel, use your hype feature. Benavidez started boxing at the age of just 3 years old, and his lifetime's dedication to his craft shows itself in every punch he throws. When he was a teenager, he ballooned up in weight to 250 pounds, but eventually got himself dialed in. And ever since then, he has been on a brutal crusade. These days, he is seen as the boogeyman of the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, and he appears to be getting better and better. For this video, we're going to take a deep dive into some of his standout performances, and maybe you'll begin to understand why Canelo refused to fight him, because that fight would only have gone one way. A showdown with Dennis Douglin marked Benavidez's 16th outing as a pro. He had some hype behind him, but nothing compared to what would follow.
First time he's ever been past 7 rounds.
Oh, knockdown scored by David Benavidez.
6, 7, 8.
In the end of the ninth.
You talked about the uppercut was there. Well, there was a lot of uppercuts
come
there.
in, touch
There was
gloves,
about
stay
4.
there.
First one, left uppercut.
Come in, touch gloves.
That one doesn't land, but... And that means right here, moving the feet a little bit. Not getting too close if you better beat us. And doing that.
That's it. Fight over. TKO victory. David Benavidez.
Yeah, that's just a compassionate stoppage. And a proper stoppage by the referee.
Already, you can see the foundational skills, the talents he would evolve and adapt more and more over the years to come. Douglin was utterly out of his depth here. Rogelio Medina met with Benavidez for his 18th fight. This bout would be the final test before Benavidez's first shot at a major world title. Benavidez was simply too much for him on the night. And with that, one of the best prospects in the sport showed that he was ready to step up to the championship level. After going to a split decision against Ronald Gavril to win the vacant super middleweight title, a rematch was booked 6 months later. Who would show the most impactful improvements of the two? That was the question.
Our main event for the World Championship.
I think Raul's right. We saw a lot of boxing so far in this card.
Throw his combinations of turn, three-punch combination from Benavidez, and an uppercut. See, he's standing there too long. And again, a combination drives Gavril into the ropes. And now Benavidez right on top of this with the right hand, left hand of the body, and a good one.
It's a liver to liver. And he went the distance with Benavidez. So Gavril is looking like he wants to do this.
So we go to the 11th round. Neither man has been this far before. Benavidez don't open up and get there against Gavril. There's a three-punch combination, drives Gavril into the ropes. Two left hands and another left hand, and a crashing right hand. Best shot of the fight from Benavidez, and that gets Gavril to try to hold on. Benavidez won't let him. Another uppercut, a left hand to the body, and a straight right hand, and Gavril still fights back.
David Benavidez found his power punches here in the 11th round, landing a variety of punches which he's known for. He's got a wide array of punches, left hooks, uppercuts, right hands, and kept after Ronald Gavril. After Gavril tried to hold. And in the last round, according to show stats, Benavidez threw and landed the most for the fight. 92 thrown, 33 landed. Those are highs for him in the fight.
Amazing. Two tired warriors here.
Benavidez walking up to him and throwing some big power shots.
And there's a left hand from Gavril, and it drops Benavidez.
7. Go back over there. Go back to the corner. 8. Out of the blue. 9. You okay? Box.
12, 11, 10 seconds remaining in this fight. Gavril trying to close the deal. Took a right hand from Benavidez. Comes right back. Gets on top of Benavidez. 3 shots in the body and an uppercut at the bell. What a fight.
For your winner by split decision, from Phoenix, Arizona, El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez.
Benavidez had finally secured his first world title, and that gold belt looked like a really good fit on the waist of David Benavidez. Would Alexis Angulo fare any better against this force of nature? Even though he had fought in title bouts before, he had never taken on someone quite as good as Benavidez.
And you don't want him to get hurt. He's in trouble now, I think.
Well, we mentioned 2 weeks ago Joe George trailing Marcos Escudero late in their light heavyweight fight here on Showtime until he unleashed that devastating uppercut. So I guess there's always a puncher's chance, but David Benavidez is another class of fighter.
And like you said, he sense him, you know, taking him out.
And here, that was one of the uppercuts that he landed in that corner, and including the left hand. There was just
too many.
Yeah, too many punches and too much punishment.
Like most Benavidez fights, it was obvious that David simply had too much for his opponent. The gulf in quality between him and his rivals was continuing to grow. A trip to the Mohegan Sun Arena to face off with Ronald Ellis was next. It was more of a stay-busy fight than anything else. But that didn't mean that Benavidez wasn't going to perform.
Ronald, David, you received your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times. Above all, obey my commands at all times. First command is right now, touch gloves. When the bell rings, come out and box.
Taking on the undefeated David Benavidez, 23-0 with 20 KOs. The bell and round one, Benavidez in the red with black and gold, Ellis in the black with white trim, and
yeah, maybe.
I'm like, you know, Ellis is using his jab, you know, it's in the beginning. First round, this second round is using it really beautiful.
30 seconds left here in the second. Ellis flashing the jab, leads with the right, and there's that hand speed. And when Benavidez gets cooking, it's like fighting an octopus.
Well, if we keep getting exchanges like that, it's going to be fun to watch. But Benavidez now landing some big power punches.
It's becoming so far really fun a fight to watch.
On a regular
Speaking
basis.
of firing, there's some fire to the body by David Benavidez, and in many ways Ellis may be playing with fire, although wants to acquit himself well, wants to move up the pecking order.
So we'll see. There's still some time to go here in round 6.
But you have to like the countenance, the attitude of a Ronald Ellis, Abner.
Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, he has that habit of going back and staying on the ropes, but, you know, he'll come back with his own. Oh, beautiful
Solid right hand by David Benavidez. 45 seconds, right hand to the body.
And made him make those mistakes, but he's clearing that, and it's now time to be recognized, you know, for your good boxing more than the mistakes.
Benavidez putting together these combinations here in the 8th, and Benavidez and Ellis have been past the 7th round. You may have saw the graphic 6 times each. Benavidez 6-0.
Because it's so powerful. You know, the right hand is always the powerful one, but in this case, Benavidez has both hands.
By the end of the round, it was Benavidez again landing that right hand. And, you know, he's landed 87 body punches in this match, Benavidez, and there's 2 of them. And they are.
I'm not saying he's not.
And you're absolutely right, Abner. And in boxing especially, a loss can be so devastating when really it should be more and more a learning
match. And here's the point at which referee Callis did stop the match and seemed to jump in at exactly the perfect moment, because it didn't seem that Ellis taking the signature uppercut from Benavidez, it didn't seem like he could fight back at this juncture.
A gutsy performance by Ronald Ellis, gets stopped for the first time, even though he's...
And still undefeated, El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez.
Sharper than a katana, David Benavidez, victorious here tonight.
11 rounds in the ring with David Benavidez does not sound like an ideal way to spend your time. And with that, his unbeaten run continued. Could Kyrone Davis even make it to the championship rounds? Or would he end up as yet another victim of this Mexican powerhouse's finishing abilities?
With a brutal barrage, and just when you think it's over, Al, Davis continues to stand his ground.
Yeah, he's trying desperately to counter him, but it's just not there. And the body work is what's doing most of the damage.
They got
another big left hand, and the towel has been thrown in. You've got to feel for Kyrone shut it down. Davis took the fight on short notice.
Davis, I think, were the body punches more than anything. And Abner, as that left-hander there, he was able to land what he wanted. That's where the towel came in. Edwards saying, no, I don't want my man to take any more punishment. He's up at a weight he shouldn't be at. Kyrone Davis should be down at 160 as a middleweight.
Yeah, it was the body work. I mean, he was taking a lot of headshots already. And if you're smart, as Benavidez is, he said, you know what, I will work the body. There's the towel. That was perfect timing as well.
Davis was never going to be anything more than target practice for Benavidez. And all things considered, his fate could have been a whole lot worse if it weren't a short notice matchup. David Lemieux came into this clash with Benavidez with quite a lot of experience behind him. He also packed a tremendous punch in his own right. But would that be enough?
Benavidez has 9 first-round KOs, last one versus Felipe Romero, November of 2015 for Lemieux. He has 12 first-round knockouts. Last one came against Gary O'Sullivan in September 2018. And there, Benavidez goes to the body with the right hand.
Toca, David, toca. There you go. Toca, sigue tocando por ese jab, no lo ve. There you go.
Oh. Right hand by Benavidez, backed up Lemieux. There's the jab through the guard, and the right hand by Benavidez, and the left to the body by the undefeated Benavidez. Lands that right. And another right that lands for Benavidez on Lemieux. 1-2 from Benavidez lands. And it's And it's the variety, the placement, the speed. I mean, he really can do it all. And that's a left hook. There's David Benavidez. Benavidez unloading blitzkrieg combinations on David Lemieux.
Bien paradito, nomás no te me confías, bien cerradito. Ya está listo, Debe, ya está listo. Agarra aire, respira hasta adentro. Trata de cuando te vayas a la escuela, ciérrate, Debe. Bien cerradito, no te me vayas a confiar,
Could have been a knockdown again, right, with the ropes. Round number 2, Lemieux was in deep trouble at the end of round 1 and starts the second looking to make what could be his last stand as he had his head popped back by the jab, and yet he's willing to stay in the pocket and go toe-to-toe with Benavidez. Referee gonna give him a short leash, is the words of Harvey Doc. Lemieux down for the 5th time in his career here in the second. And the counter right from Benavidez. Wow. Lemieux fighting back, going to the body. Almost down in round 1, went down here in round 2, and yet he's still coming forward. And Benavidez landing shots. There's a left to the body, right hand, and the right cross. Unbelievable chin, unbelievable will, but how much more can David Lemieux take? Lands a left of his own. And that left hook backing up Lemieux. And the left uppercut lands. Jab by Benavidez. Every punch on the menu on display from Benavidez. A man who's always intent on going out on his shield. 2 of his 4 losses have been by knockout. He just got rocked with the left uppercut on the inside. Again on wobbly legs, taking all kinds of punishment. Man, it's a battle of Davids, but Lemieux sporting a Goliath-sized heart here as he is taking all kinds of punishment from the undefeated David Benavidez. There's a right hand that lands for Benavidez. Show stats and the power punches all in favor of Benavidez. The guard is split by Benavidez, who is landing at a high clip. Lemieux was knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio in the 7th round in April 2011 by Gennady Golovkin in the 8th, October 2015. Benavidez trying to close the show here. And yet Lemieux gets rocked with that 1-2, but not going down, Raul. And Lemieux's corner has mercifully stopped the punishment, and David Benavidez is now 26-0.
This was one brutal showcase from Benavidez. It did seem like he went out there looking to make a statement, and in that sense, he succeeded in a huge way. The former world champion Caleb Plant was next, but could Benavidez beat him in a more impressive fashion than Canelo?
shit.
The body shot, keep working that fucking body and breaking his ass down.
Keep closing him. Ya no puedes tirar tanto, ya estamos cansados, pero no te quedes muy parado, ¿ok? Trata de usarme el jab y ya adentro, cuando estés adentro, ya lo usamos el jab.
All three in favor of the winner. And still, the undefeated interim WBC Super Middleweight World Champion.
In the end, Benavidez got the job done and seemingly singled himself out as the #1 contender for Canelo's throne, or at least that was the official verdict. By the time Benavidez took on Demetrius Andrade, he was very clearly the boogeyman of the 168-pound division. Andrade was probably the best opponent Benavidez had ever faced, but how much would that actually matter?
Quite handily, but now here is a guy who is a southpaw. There's a right hand that connected for Benavidez. Here's a guy, a southpaw, slick southpaw. See if Benavidez can string together some prolonged offense. Now Benavidez coming on. That left hook digging to the body of Andrade. Now right hand smashing into the face of Andrade. And now here's that offense that we were expecting from the monster in David Benavidez. Big right hand from the outside, smashing into the left cheekbone of Andrade. And Benavidez coming on. If you're Benavidez, you need to start to throw combinations and become more offensive. Of the mindset, let me see if he can handle my firepower. Beautiful right uppercut on the inside that backed up Andrade. The first time that Andrade has really backed up. Big right hand, and down goes Andrade. But look at that big right hand. And Andrade took him like a second to go down to the canvas so that he conserves and has something left if it indeed continues to go on. Big shots now by Benavidez, a left hook to the body, and the hand speed of Benavidez is starting to be showcased. Blood is on the left bicep of Benavidez as Andrade continues to try to remain in the fight, and Andrade getting hammered, and that ends the round. Oh my goodness!
The power of Benavidez was simply too much for Andrade, and even though things were going reasonably well, power like that is the ultimate equalizer. Interim light heavyweight gold was up next for Benavidez. Alexander Gvozdyk was the man to welcome him back to the division for the first time in years.
David Benavidez against Alexander Gvozdyk, a former champion at 175. He'll try to spoil the Monster's debut at light heavyweight. They sparred 5 years ago, and in those sparring sessions, Benavidez said, hey, I checked that chin and I'm going to do it again. He feels he could score the best knockout of his career in the light heavyweight debut. Easier said than done against a guy who's only been stopped once, and that's when he ran into the proverbial wall against Artur Beterbiev when they fought each other for the unified light heavyweight crown, and Beterbiev was able to drop him 3 times and stop him. And Gvozdyk went on a long hiatus, retired for 3 years, came back last year, won all 3 fights, but he didn't face anyone that can prepare him for the kind of fighter that David Benavidez is.
You see Benavidez pushing Gvozdyk.
And Benavidez loves to go to the body. Sean Gvozdyk here in the second. Has a 3-punch combination lands for Benavidez, but Gvozdyk comes back before his reign ended at the hands of Artur Beterbiev. And remember, through 8 rounds, he had done a great job of outboxing Beterbiev, but repeatedly. Nice combination to end the round. And Benavidez opening up on Gvozdyk. Double triple jab. There's a loading up the right hand by Benavidez.
And he tried to do that.
Nice jab by Gvozdyk, but now he's getting tagged by the combination of Benavidez. Benavidez going to the body, and again, Benavidez so accurate, so precise. David Benavidez, but Gvozdyk stays busy. He gets countered with a much more effective shot. Double right uppercuts, right hook by Benavidez. Gvozdyk taking the shot, still standing. He's been knocked down 4 times in his career. We're on our way to round number 5, and Gvozdyk will escape the 4th, but not before tasting the power of Benavidez.
Right there.
Here we go. Here's Benavidez running. That left hook caught Gvozdyk as he was pulling out and around.
There's no
and here we go.
but it's just like bloodshot on
Benavidez
the
under pressure. A nice right uppercut.
Okay.
And then he whips that right hand around to the temple.
And I like when Benavidez takes a little, hop. He jumps
And
just a bit.
and those body shots definitely slowing down the mobility and the movement of Alexander Gvozdyk. Another left hook to the body, a right hand. The blitzing combinations of Benavidez. Beautiful left hand as Benavidez lands him 12 here in the 5th. And there's the hand
right there.
accuracy on display.
Replay of Benavidez faking and punching. There it is. He faked that body shot and he came back on top. Brilliance from Benavidez. That's how you set it up.
Hey, Jeff, just so you know, our concern in the round before, both eyes are a little bloodshot up here. No blood's coming out, but blood's at the surface. No swelling. It's just
right hand, lead right hand, right on the button.
On the lid.
Gvozdyk hands are down. You can't leave your hands down against Benavidez. They got to be a ball. And there's a right hand from Gvozdyk, but he got countered with the left hook, right hand, left hook, right hand. He got countered with 4 or 5 punches.
I want to see more punches, straight punches, uppercuts, and then move to the side. Don't walk straight back because
A thudding 3-piece combo. With 30 seconds left in the 6th. Benavidez launches a lead left hook that lands him. Gvozdyk took it well. Right hand, left hook, left to the body. Beautiful combination by Benavidez.
He has it, Billy. He's not as active as Benavidez. Right there. Beautiful left hook.
Gvozdyk delivering a combination, definitely throwing more punches than Benavidez. Not as accurate or landing as many. There's a combination from Benavidez. There's a body shot to Benavidez by Benavidez to Gvozdyk on the ropes. And now Benavidez putting the pressure on, walking down Gvozdyk. 25 seconds left in the 10th.
Here's the jab, the counter right hand. Another counter right hand by Gvozdyk, but he got countered 2 times by 2 hooks. That's classic Benavidez. There's the counter, leans back, counters, throws the right uppercut, counters again with the hook.
I love how he pronated that right hand at the end. Turned it beautifully. There it is.
Pull back, hook, body shot, hook, step back.
That's it. Yeah. And look,
Nice right counter by Gvozdyk. It goes to the body. Minute and a half left here in the 11th. There's the jab from Benavidez.
Benavidez walking forward. His shots.
Not as good as cutting off the ring. Never been his strong suit, but he needs a couple of shots there from Gvozdyk, but he lands a nice short right and a beautiful left to the body by Benavidez. And the counter by Gvozdyk. Now Gvozdyk doesn't have the power, and he got hit with that left hand, but he's
Judge at ringside, Zachary Young. the bout 116 to 112. Dave Moretti sees it 117 to 111. And Don Trella scores the action 119 to 109. All three in favor of the winner. He is now the interim WBC light heavyweight world champion, the Mexican Monster, David El Monstruo Benavidez.
Got in the work, went 12 rounds with a former lineal light heavyweight champion and medalist, and David Benavidez passes his first test at 175 pounds.
Sure, he didn't get the finish, but it was another piece of silverware for his collection. Benavidez was proving his pound-for-pound status here, that's for sure. A showdown with David Morrell would be next for Benavidez, and it would be a fight that would force him to dig a lot deeper than expected.
It's Morrell with the longer wingspan. He's actually a half-inch taller than Benavidez, and look at the ages. Benavidez turned 28.
Okay, coaches, everything on the white here is going to be good up. Everything underneath the silver letters and up is going to be good. Gentlemen, you got some very detailed instructions in the back. I want to remind you, protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up. David, touch them up. Back to your corner.
An undisputed light heavyweight glory goes to the victor. This is round number 1.
Both fighters really starting to establish already what they do well in there as Benavidez corners Morrell.
Benavidez, the light heavyweight division throughout history, has been the scene of some of the most intense rivalries, some of the biggest grudge matches. Benavidez and Morrell already. And now Benavidez on the ropes again. You don't want to be, and there's a nice counter left hook upstairs by Benavidez, goes downstairs, rips a left to the body. And you're right, now it's Morrell that's putting the pressure on Benavidez.
That's good scouting from Benavidez' team right there.
Oh, another uppercut.
Knowing Morrell often changes levels with dip down to explode.
Thank you. Good
round by round for Benavidez.
And you look at the body shots landed round by round, and it's all a monster.
I like what David Benavidez did right there. He took a little sidestep and tried to get that uppercut in. Walking in forward, throwing that straight jab.
And total punches landed. Big edge for Benavidez. Oh, there's a counter left from Morrell. The uppercuts to the face. David Benavidez beginning to try to close the show here in the night, but Morrell fights back valiantly. Uppercuts of his own. Nice counter right, chopping right hand by Benavidez. Oh, okay, wow, little alley shuffle. It has not been the high output fight that we used to see from Benavidez. And it's ruled a knockdown by referee Thomas Taylor.
Benavidez entertained with those shots as well, and there's a knockdown.
Yep, right hook. Total jabs landed. Power punches. It's all David Benavidez as he looks to go to 30-0, and after all of the animosity.
He is now the unified WBC interim and WBA light heavyweight world champion, the Mexican Monster, David El Monstruo Benavidez.
It was a vicious battle, but Benavidez once again proved how war-ready he really was. Now, 30-0, the world was very clearly aware of just how special this guy actually is. But what do you think of the unbeaten David Benavidez? And if Canelo is never going to fight him, who would you like to see him take on next?